So determine the mood in the lyrics of famous modern artists. Expressing the emotions of music is a challenge. So we can highlight musical features such as melody or rhythm and classify what emotions they carry. And as a rule, the composition is created from melody and lyrics. Lyrics usually tell a somatic story with specific emotions. Love and romance are the most common themes in popular music, but lyrics and lyric styles can also reflect the social and political change. Recognition of the musical emotions is a form of mood analysis in the musical sphere, while the text is only a particular source of attributes. Songs mood analysis use data analysis techniques or artificial intelligence combined with various functions to classify songs by mood categories based on the most typical types of emotions they express. So the main problem is that the subjective nature of music perception. Text can be distinguished based on hashtags, text, and audio features. And for gather accuracy, you can use hybrids with several features. Texts are semantically rich and easy to work with. Like hashtags, lyrics is another source of high-level features. They can easily be processed and usually are free, unlike melody or audio, they are primarily copyright. In this study, the work will be with the lyrics. For delighted analysis of the mood of the songs, it's better to combine the features of the lyrics with properties extract from the music, but work will focus only on the lyrics. And it's essential to identify tonalities, positive and negative, and moods such as sadness, joy, happiness, or sorrow. Methods, machine learning methods are primarily used for classification, where the definition of moods is presented in two ways, positive or negative. This requires marked data, and such models can be trained for different purposes and contexts, which is a plus. The disadvantage is the unavailability of marked data and consequently the low applicability of the methods for new data. So on the other hand, the vocabulary-based methods are predetermined list of words where each word is associated with a certain feeling. Lexical methods is very dependent on the context in which they were created. So since the lyrics are non-labeled, the study will use rule-based methods, vocabulary. The token-oriented approach calculates the mood of a given text depending on the polarity of words or phrases in the text. So the method calculating the mood as follows. After preprocessing the text, the marker of each word is checked on its polarity in the lexicon. If the word is not found in the lexicon, its polarity of each word is its polarity considered as a 0. And after assigning polarity points of the words contained in the text, the final assignment of the mood of the text is calculated by dividing the sum of the points of the words that set the mood in the text by the number of such words. Vocabulary provides a set of word dictionaries with labels that define their moods in different areas. So in that study, we will use VADA and text emotions that are in Python. VADA is from the Python NLKT library. It's a tool for analyzing moods based on lexicons and rules. It used a combination of mood lexicons. The VADA model used 4 different mood metrics: negative, neutral, positive indicators. It represents the share of the text and falls into those categories. And then the last one is down metric that calculates the sum of all the lexicon scores, and it's kind of like a normalizer. And the text to emotion is a Python package design with a clear intention to find the appropriate emotions enabled in the text data. It processes any text data, recognizes the emotions embedded in them and provides output from in a dictionary form. It's suitable for five main categories of emotions like happy, angry, sad, surprised, and scared. Next. Here is the process of analyzing of the tonality of songs based on their lyrics. First, you need to choose the artist whose lyrics you want to analyze. I choose three for the work. Those are Taylor Swift, American singer and songwriter, one of the leading contemporary musician, Eminem, American rapper, composer, producer, and BTS, a South Korean boy band. And next, you need to find dataset with text. If you not have a ready-to-use data on the internet, you can create the necessary datasets by yourself. Of course, you can create it manually, but there are more automated ways to do this. Python and R can process data from Genius or Spotify platforms. And to do this, you need to use Genius AP or Spotify AP keys. Once the dataset had been created or selected, you need to select a method to analyze the text tone. Then, as text is unlabeled, so existing dictionaries are required. And next, you need to process the text for better classification, and then you can get a result that will show the mood of the lyrics in the artist's song. So, analyzing the tone in Eminem's lyrics showed that negative tones dominated in most albums, as you can see in the diagram. Only the Infinity album has positive tone. Slim Shady has the highest negative tone, and Murdered, Music to be Murdered has the highest positive tone among all. The most common emotion in Eminem's text are fear and surprise, and the most significant indicator of fear is in the Infinity album and surprise in Music to be Murdered. There are also a lot of performance in each album, and the biggest one is in the Slim, like Sad. It's a Slim Lady AP, and indicators of the emotions of happiness and anger are much lower, but the biggest happiness is in the Marshall Mass and Serious, and anger in Kamikaze and Killshot here. The Taylor Swift songs have fewer high tones, only about 0.1 compared to an average 0.2 in Eminem. A positive tone prevails here, only in Evermore here does negative prevail. The album Lava has the highest positive rate, and all albums of pop and country genres have a significant gap in tones in favor of the positive, while the indie and alternative albums like Evermore and Folklore, the last two, have more negative tone. In emotions, the most significant amount of is debut Taylor Swift, and the biggest surprise in is Speak Now. All of the albums are Greatest Fear is in Evermore, Folklore, and 1989. And Anger and Joy have very low represents in album. The most positive album from BTS was their debut album, Too Cool for School. This album also has the lowest negative tone. The You Never Walk Alone album has the highest negative tone. And the negative also exceeds the positive in albums like Wings and Love Yourself Her. They also have the lowest positive. Of all the artists studied, BTS has the highest rates of some emotions, about some emotions even more than 0.4. The emotional spectrum of the album is dominated by the sadness, the purple one. The highest figures are in the trilogy of The Most Beautiful Moments and Love Yourself. And the only album where fear domains is Too Cool for School. But the highest level of this emotion is in the album Most Persona. Compared to the other emotions, anger and joy are small, less than the 0.2, and the highest joy is in highest joy is School Love Affair, and the lowest is in The Most Beautiful Moment trilogy, and the lowest anger of level is in Love Yourself, Her. And conclusion, so from the result that the lyrics of the songs are related to the genre and the purpose of the album. For example, the Kamikaze and Kill Shoot album have the highest level of anger, and Taylor Swift albums that have pop and country genres have the large margin terms of the positive. In Constance, Indian Alternative, the single last album of the singers tend to be negative. And listening to songs with such emotionally colored lyrics, listeners often broadcast those emotions on themselves. Rap songs, so Eminem songs, have the higher rates of anger than pop songs like Taylor Swift or BTS. Future research, it would be better to expand the range of genres of the study songs and number of creating emotions. Thanks for your attention.